Shout, Apoki. Can we show some love, please? Let's put our hands together. He's been training on podcast. Please, let's show some love one more time. Let's show some love. Tonight is our own podcast. Yes. So we're going to train.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's an honor to address you. I'm going to be very brief because I'm a 2-minute man. Financial orgasm. Some of them about that time. I'm going to be talking about tourism. I happen to have traveled around 5 countries within the last 20 days. And I was wondering why would we make money from our own country? What is tourism? Tourism is traveling for sightseeing, usually outside your locality. But there are things associated with tourism. Number one, transportation. I was in Camp Noah a few days back when they played Bayern Munich. If you see the number of people that came to that were in the airport that day in Barcelona, just because of the match, it will shock you. So transportation. I went to visit a monastery somewhere in Romania last week too. They are not charging gate fee, but tourists were coming with buses. Apoki Church is the 6th largest church in the world. If properly marketed, it can be a tourist center. And the way you eat bitter cola, and the big person beg you. If you eat bitter cola as if you are eating biscuit, somebody will beg you. It is the way you package and portray yourself that will make people visit you, just like as the Honorable said. From tourism, our hotels will be filled. If you take like Abraka, for example, the Ethiopia River there, and the golf course there, can be maximally utilized such that our hotels there will be fully booked. There will be need for food, and with proper packaging. Food, our farmers, I sell gari, I farm on 47 acres. I sell gari. With food, we can make a lot of money. The next thing, drinks, and then souvenirs, and then tickets. I went to the Sagrada Familia Basilica in Barcelona. It is supposed to be an embarrassment. It's a church that has been built, is being built for the past 400 years. It has not been completed. It is the longest Catholic church project in the world. But if you see people buying tickets, the ticket is 59 euros to enter. 59 euros, except you have a special one if you Google it now. 59 euros. I converted 59 euros, it's about 100 and something thousand naira, just to see an uncompleted project. But there was real artistry there. Then, the next thing is that, apart from tickets, souvenirs, and hotels, there are some basic things we need to do in Niger, in Delta State, to attract tourists. Number one, the sites that we have. This is my first time of being here. If with a little finishing touch, this place is very beautiful because you just see the River Niger there. I went to the African joint there, ate pepper soup. They were serving meals with calabash and all that. Some people have not had that experience before. Just coming here to have that experience, they will be willing to pay. Then the next thing is personalities. The Obi of Agbo, as at one time, was the youngest king in the whole world. At the age of 9, he was a king. His palace and himself can be a source of attraction that people will like to visit. Then we have personalities. If you have personalities that like the Obi of Agbo I just said, John Pepe Clark, Bruce Lombakwea and his Hamatan project in Agbara. Even Agbara alone, Hebrew, his great place and his history. They are talking about airstrips for Oyedepo. Hebrew had an airstrip in Akbara a long time ago, and we've left it to rot because we don't attach value to anything in this part of the world. I went to visit the Tennis Palace in Romania. It's just the palace of the king. And what we paid to enter, my son and I, was about 150,000. They were just showing us it is the first heated palace in the whole of Europe, this, the salt, whatever. And our royalties in this part of the world, we have, if you go to the Lulu of Warris Palace, I've been there. There are so many things that can be displayed that people will be willing to come and see. Then the next thing is festivals. I watched the Kene Festival last in 1963. Till today, it's still a mystery to me how that tall structure can be there and how somebody can be there and be dancing. A Kene Festival can be maximized. As it is maximized, you will visit the Hebrew house there. That Hebrew house with one pillar. In those days, we used to live a long distance to come and visit it. We have 2 airports in this state, and it is easy to mobilize people to come here. Festivals, our Okere Festival, the Agasani Festival, and several festivals in Isoko where people can light match on their body and they are not consumed. These are festivals people can come and watch, and then we will make money. Products. I was working with the late Commissioner for Commerce and Industries, and later became Special Assistant to the Governor on Entrepreneurship. I was working with her to, before she passed on, to take communities and their special products. Otedo in Ugeli South, pottery. If you go to Otedo, you'll be amazed at what people can do with clay. We can take specific communities and the products that they have and showcase them, and the state can even buy from them and sell to tourists at different prices. But any community that has a specific product, we can market them. Our rivers, our mountains, and whatever that we have can become areas of attraction. But before we have tourism as an alternative to oil, let me quickly say this. The whole budget of Nigeria from oil is not up to the budget of New York State with only 18 million people. This dirty oil money that we are all running around has led to what is called in economics Dutch disease. The Dutch disease is when you have a product that brings cheap money, we leave every other thing like agriculture and just concentrate on that. And Dutch disease is always associated with violence. That's why in Afghanistan you have violence, in Congo you have violence, anywhere you have a product that brings cheap money. But we need to remove our attention from that. Now let me just warn. The world is moving away from fossil fuels. My sons, the cars they were carrying me within Europe, when they drive a little bit with petrol, it will come back to electricity. Crossover, Yaris crossover. And so we bought 20 liters, we were able to drive from Germany, we went to Maastricht, from Maastricht we went to Belgium with just 20 liters. And so a time will come, the demand for petroleum products will reduce. And we must start thinking like Dubai, thinking like the other oil producing countries, and start thinking of Delta State without oil. But before we can have tourism, we need security. Security, when tourists don't feel safe. In Addis Ababa, when I go to Addis Ababa, you will see people walking in the streets. And so the Ethiopian birr is far higher than the Nigerian naira related to the dollar. If you go to Madagascar, I go to Madagascar quite regularly. You will see people trekking in the street. In the streets of Addis, you will see gold necklaces. Only separating you, the thing separating you is just glass. Nobody will not break it. So until we have security, we can't have good tourism in this country. Number 2, orderliness. Orderliness. Number 3, neatness. When you stay near gutter for too long, your nose will not perceive the odor again. Because the epithelial cells, I went to research it recently. I'm a medical doctor, this 40 years I've been a doctor. The epithelial cells of your nostrils, when the molecules of odor fill the cells to the brim, they don't have any space to receive any scent. We are so used to disorderliness and dirtiness that we no longer feel it. At the same way, if you stay in darkness for too long, you start seeing. And I used to say, let me say this before I close so that you won't do me anything. Don't look at me like that. All of you now, when they travel abroad, go Jerusalem, go wherever, see all the good things that they see. If you are not bring them come, God will punish them. Because it's wickedness to see all that beauty, live there. Some of you have double citizenship and foreign passports and all that. You see all that and you come here. One of the things that irritated me, I want to pick somebody from the UK, from Osubi Airport. The granite he was eating, he broke the granite and threw it from the window. Nigeria forgive me, and then he slapped me. Praise the worry. You can't do that in the UK. Some of you big men here are the greatest problems we have in this country. You can block road and logistics with another big man. You can't do that in the UK. When you go to the UK, later bosses who know you for that. When you come here, you have lived on our shoulders and you use what we have promoted you with our oppressors. I was telling them in Benin. I went to government college. I had a swimming pool in my school. I went to FDC Warrior, ate a chicken in school. My same generation that benefited from this country is the same generation that is destroying this country. God will punish us. The prayer you want to do for Nigeria will not work. Because only clean hands pray and God answers. I remain your friend, Dr. Charles Apoki.
Ladies and gentlemen, we can do better than that. Let's show some love, please. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We can do better than that. I will celebrate Dr. Apoki. Thank you so much for bringing us up to speed as far as the culture and tourism component is concerned. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Dreams 2024. At this point in time, I want to go straight to the unveiling. I'd like to invite quickly the representative of His Excellency, the Governor of Delta State, to lead the park and to be on that entourage. I'd like to quickly invite the most distinguished Deputy Speaker of the vibrant 10th Assembly, and the very right honorable Barrister Apoki, to be on that entourage. The Special Advisor to His Excellency on Culture and Tourism.